We want to join Michael McKee, though, on the line for more on this breaking story, as we understand that Justice Stephen Breyer is now preparing to announce his resignation. Mike, how does this news hit you today? What does it mean in terms of timing?
Well, the timing is going to be very interesting because Breyer, one of the few justices left on the liberal wing, is also the oldest justice on the court, and Democrats have been very, very concerned that he would stay too long, might, as Ruth Bader Ginsburg did, die in office, and Republicans would get a chance to nominate and confirm his replacement. So we don't know if he's bowing to pressure. He said for the last couple of months that he would make a decision when he was ready to go. But it does help Joe Biden if they can get the confirmation process up and running in enough time to get him confirmed before we get too close to the midterm elections. You can bet Republicans will make this an election issue.
Says he will step down at the end of the term, according to reports. How much time does that give the White House to come up with a short list?
Well, the White House, I imagine, already has a short list, but
or to make it public, we should say.
Yeah. The court's term traditionally ends in June. So the question, which I'm not clear on, but I believe that the White House would be able to start the nomination process before Justice Breyer actually retires. He could go, a replacement could go through the nomination hearings and probably a committee vote before there was an opening, and then get a floor vote as soon as Justice Breyer actually leaves.
With what we've seen in terms of President Biden's relationship, Mike, with this Congress, with Mitch McConnell specifically, the minority leader in the U.S. Senate, this could be a grind. What is the White House in for here? What is the nominee going to be in for?
Well, this is going to be a really, really tough one because it's not just in an election year when Republicans are threatening to take over the Senate and take over power over who's on the court, but it's also a year, and we would expect a decision in the summer where Roe v. Wade could be struck down. So the whole midterms could change from right now an emphasis on inflation to an emphasis on the Supreme Court. And the White House would have to be able to mobilize people, get them to care enough to vote on that issue. And it isn't clear that Democrats have the same feelings about it that Republicans have.
Mike, I never thought we'd be talking about the Supreme Court today. This is Fed Day, which is, of course, your wheelhouse. And I wonder what your thoughts are as we go into this decision and this announcement a bit later on. You'll have special programming, of course, here on Bloomberg TV and radio when we hear more from Jay Powell. In terms of the statement, though, what are you going to be looking for with a sense of what might come in March?
My first thought when I saw the Breyer headlines was, gee, we don't have enough news today. But I think what we'll get is what the market is expecting. They will say we've basically reached the point of maximum employment, full employment. We're way over their target on inflation, so therefore it justifies raising interest rates sometime in the future. They probably won't say the month of March, but that's what Wall Street is betting on. And they'll talk about the balance sheet as something that they will get to. We won't get any decisions on that today, but they probably will continue tapering rather than cutting it off immediately because the amount of money is so small they don't get anything out of it. And then finally, the big question is going to be what kind of forward guidance do they give us? Because for the last 2 years, we've been watching for full employment and inflation. And now that we have those, what will get the Fed to move the next time? How will they make decisions on how far they're going to raise interest rates and how soon?